Hey, it's Jason. We are back out here in Westchester, Pennsylvania at a beautiful home with some awesome homeowners. So here we are, in front of the patios.
Indeed.
Through the design, we talked about those elevations with the doors of having to get from the bottom to the top up by the kitchen, and that was how we determined how many steps were going to be needed along the way. So that was how we started to determine the level. So once the deck was off, we painted it out on the ground. And what'd you think from there? And tell me about the construction.
One of the things we wanted to make sure we included in that is different functional areas in the patio. So that having different steps kind of let us sort of divide that up into the foyer space, the lounge space, the dining tier, and then the kitchen up at the top.
After we had excavated for the pool, we also excavated for these walls that you see behind me. And what these walls were to do was obviously to create those tiers, create those steps. We excavated that. We had the metal done at the same time as the pool. And then we turned around, and when the pool was being shot with concrete, we also shot these walls.
It was quite amazing to watch them do that. Basically the fire hose of concrete spraying and the craftsman kind of coming along behind, just sort of with trowels, sculpting it.
So we brought in over 120 tons of clean stone, and that was how we create these level terraces. So the wall goes up, and then a machine brings in a whole bunch of gravel and starts to level out those areas. And that's how we're able to build our patios. A bunch of drainage happens behind the walls and all kinds of things. And from there, the guy started chipping some stone and laying out each individual piece.
And that was one thing we liked about this rock. There was so much variation and striation in the rock that it gave us so much variety to enjoy from a visual perspective.
Yeah, we even, down here on this lower wall, we took a couple boulders and mixed that right in to just give it a little bit of a different element, and the two really went together very well. So as we were talking about that shooting process, that was pretty cool. We were also shooting the pool at the same time, so maybe we should go check out the pool.
Sounds good, let's go.
So here we are, what a difference. This is where all the trees were. This area has changed tremendously.
Quite a bit.
The first area that we had to focus on was getting the pool in the ground. And we came in, we excavated that area out, we brought in a bunch of clean stone, and we had it actually ready for the fiberglass pool that was supposed to be installed. You want to tell that story?
No, go ahead.
We were supposed to be installing a fiberglass pool here, and fiberglass pools are awesome. We were taken and we were going to put a negative edge on right here behind me where the waterfalls are. Unfortunately, I woke up that morning and I was like, man, you know what would really stink today? If that pool showed up without that cutout that it needed. So luckily, I sent a text and I asked for a picture of the pool, and I got a text back, and it wasn't the pool that we were expecting.
We had always, in the design part of the process, had teetered back and forth between concrete and fiberglass. And we were about 50-50 between the two solutions. So we kind of took it as a sign that maybe we're supposed to go with concrete when the fiberglass shell came in wrong. So we went back, changed a few of the shapes and sizes, made it a little bit bigger in some areas. And I think we came out with a really good result of having that left turn in the middle of the process there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the design came out very similar. The pool shape, I like more now. It came out great. The spa's a little bit bigger. There was some challenges with that though, because we had already excavated for the fiberglass pool, and when you do that, you over excavate in order to put a bunch of stone around the outside and plumbing and piping and all those kinds of things, where concrete pools are a little bit different. We want it excavated very similar. Do you remember the amount of sandbags that we had to bring in to kind of reshape that? Pallets of sandbags came in, and we did that to reshape the pool back to the current design that we have now. But once the rebar was in, we came in and we just started shooting everything with concrete, because we needed this shell in order to build everything up against and really start to define the space that we were going to have for the water feature to run up through, right?
So one of the interesting aspects that so many people ask, they would say, Todd, are you putting in two swimming pools? Because we keep seeing this other swimming pool here at the end. So it was kind of interesting of how with the waterfall of the negative edge, we needed to have a buffer space to hold that water for when we start the pumps. So that's the purpose of the extra pit here is to hold that water when we start the pumps and to give that water a chance to reach equilibrium coming down out of the pool.
But the goal was to not really be able to notice or feel like, okay, this is the pool and this is the stream and waterfall. So yeah, that absolutely did that. We were going to cover this area, and you had a really good idea, you and Shannon, to keep it open. We actually ran the tile down a little bit further and brought the plaster up, and that way your water level can fluctuate a lot more. We're going to have some, obviously some evaporation and all kinds of things going on during the waterfalls. With the water being drawn from here and pumped up into the pool will always be at a consistent level. Neat thing is, this is also your skimmer, so it's going to bring everything down into here so that we're able to clean it up right out of here.
So Jason, how does the water get from the basin back up to the pool?
We'll show you. Let's go.